Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to check out these Arteza Kids Gel Crayons. Are they made for kids or not? You're often surprised by the ones that are labeled for kids and turn out to be something that you could totally use in adult coloring. Gosh, I just had one like the other day. What was it? I can't remember now. So there's 16 gel crayons. And this is going to be part of a series, just like with the watercolor crayons. I am going to do a battle of the gel crayons. So let's take a look. I mean, the packaging is really cute. So it has the colors on the back here. It even has some QR codes. It does say watercolor effects. So, and you can draw on paper and glass. Ooh. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a dry version, and then I'll do a swatch next to it with the just the color itself, and then another one, and we'll activate it and see how they work. But let's take out a pen and show you. So there are no names or numbers or anything like that, so that's going to make it kind of a pain in the bunsies. So you pop off the lid. I can already see the shadow just from like holding it up to the light. It looks like right about here is where the actual gel crayon starts. So from here to here, no gel crayons. So it's not like this whole thing is product. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what these are. I'll probably have to take out a Sharpie and number these, but let me get my supplies. Hi Jets, welcome, thank you for joining us. You're gonna hear the jets in the background. But yeah, let's get supplies out and start swatching. Okay, so I'll do one in real time and then the rest I will do sped up. But I labeled this number 1. Doesn't look like it because that's a little hole there, but it's this yellowish color. So I'm gonna do a dry swatch. Oh wow, that thing is really creamy, by the way. I'm gonna put a little bit on my Crayon Dash palette. Seriously, just go to the dollar store and get a cheap palette as long as it has some texture to it. And then I'll put the one I'm going to activate right below it, I think. That way I can swoosh this one. So let's make sure this one's clean. It was not, so glad I checked. Okay, so we'll pick some up off the board. That is definitely vibrant, isn't it? That's a yellow, obviously, right? Let's see how the water activated ones. So we're gonna activate this one here down below. Oh wow, this activates really nicely. And the pigment and everything, interesting. Okay, well, I am going to be going through and we'll speed this up for your sake and mine, and I'll be swatching the rest of these, and I'll try to get them in what I think is a good order, but it's hard to say because none of them are labeled. In fact, I'm just gonna pour them all on my desk, although this little tube is something I'm gonna keep storing them in. All right, so let's get going. Okay, so that is all of the colors, swatched dry, rubbed on using the brush, and then activated. Some of them didn't activate as well as others. And it could be because they sat on the paper for a little bit, but it didn't take me that long to swatch. Others melted away really easily. Again, this is a smooth cardstock though, not much tooth. And these could do a lot better on watercolor paper, which is why I'm going to grab one and see. Okay, I took two colors that specifically did not activate as well on the cardstock. I'm just going to see how they activate on this watercolor paper. Yeah, the lines are still there for sure with that one. And I have a feeling it'll be the same here. This is just a cold press watercolor paper, but I wanted to see if maybe working it into the grooves of the cold press would do anything. But it actually looks uglier on watercolor paper. So skip that idea. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, that's just wrong. Okay. So, I mean, these are a kid's budget gel crayon. So you gotta kind of keep that in mind. They do even say, you know, kids on it. Where's the lid? Kids, 3+. However, I have those, you know, Faber-Castell ones, and they weren't too shabby, considering they were for kids. But I would say these are best for going straight onto the paper, or not straight onto paper, from palette to paper. And if you're going to do like the watercolor effect, I would put them on a palette. That's kind of what I do with even like most watercolor crayons, minus like Neocolor, because Neocolor tend to dissolve quite well despite the cardstock. But yeah, I mean, I would put them on a palette, because see, here's this blue here. Look at it coming off of a palette. And then like this purple here, which looks really ugly. Zoom you in. See how ugly that activation is there? But if I pull it off of a palette, look how pretty it is. So yeah, it's, you know, I mean, formulation wise, these are not going to be artist grade. I really hope they don't kid us by saying light fast on here anywhere. Thank goodness they don't. But overall, considering the price and the fact that you get 16 of these for kids, not too bad. Of course, I have more gel crayons I'll be comparing now that I was finally able to acquire the silky crayons, the infamous silky crayons. But yeah, for these Arteza gel crayons, these aren't too shabby at all. They definitely perform best going from palette to paper. For adult coloring, I would use your little applicator brush and a palette of some kind. If you're going to use these in art, I would definitely put them on a palette and use them like watercolor paint instead of putting them down like you would in Neocolor and then activating them, because even on watercolor paper, they did not do well. So yeah, I mean, big differences even that way, but not shabby, honestly. Like if I didn't have a ton of gelatos like I already do right now, this would be a great beginner set to grab, because you have all these colors, and remember, you can mix these colors and make other colors. You don't just have this. Oh, and I didn't swatch the white, I know, but you don't have just 15. Look at your color wheel, see what you can mix. You could totally make just about anything you want. You just have to be creative. In fact, I'll even do one real quick as a mix just to show you. Okay, so I want to take this purple and this red and make something a little richer. Where'd my thing go? Make sure my brush is cleaned off. So I'm just going to pick them up that way. You could also just layer them on top of one another. There. Now I've made like kind of a vampirish red-violet color using these two. So that's these two right here. And depending on the concentration, that's what you're gonna get. I mean, you can layer them on top. I'm gonna need a clean brush for this one though. So say I want to take this pink. Oh, I hope a bunch of this yellow underneath it isn't too activated. Otherwise this experiment is going to be a bomb. I'm going to add some white in there. I usually prefer to mix them together as opposed to layering on top, but just for example's sake. Oh, yeah, I still have way too much on that brush. Let's do it down here, and I'm just going to combine the colors. So I'm going to take the white, take the pink, grab a very clean brush. Oh my gosh, I'm running low on clean brushes. I need to take these downstairs and introduce them to the pink soap. And there, I've made a very light blush pink. See how light it is? So this is the little blush pink. This is the pink that comes with it. I know it's hard to see the difference, but this is a lot lighter. Just by mixing it with some white. But yeah, you can mix anything. You can mix these green and yellows and make a whole different set of blues. You could even make your own purples by combining a pink and a blue rather than a red and a blue, and make different shades of purples. But these are totally mixable as well. So don't think you're ever just limited, us with gelatos where we have to buy every single set. Absolutely unnecessary. You could probably get away with 5 gelatos and mix as many colors as you wanted. But it's all about fun, right? So yeah, these aren't bad. I would definitely recommend these if you don't already have gel crayons, or you're looking for something a little cheaper, or something you want to experiment with that you don't have to worry about ruining a page with. I would definitely say these are good to go, and something I'm definitely going to use in a coloring page, and they will be part of the battle, so we will see how it all turns out. Until next time, everyone, take care. Bye now.